Okay, so in this problem, what I want to do is I want to write a quadratic equation given 3 points. So we're given 3 coordinates, and we want to write a quadratic equation that fits these coordinates. And what we want to use here is using substitution. Okay? And remarkably, there aren't that many videos that show pure substitution. The videos that I've seen mix elimination and substitution, or they pull some trick. They use coordinates that have some little trick to them, and I'm just gonna solve this using pure substitution to prove that you can do it entirely by hand. Now, before we get started, the one thing that you need to remember is that the standard form of a quadratic equation is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, these coordinates here are given to us as x comma y. So what I'm going to do is substitute in the x and the y values into this equation 3 times. So we're going to do this 3 times. My y value in the first coordinate pair is 6. So modeling it after that, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, I have 6 equals a times 1 squared plus b times 1 plus c. For my second equation, I have 17 equals a times 2 squared. See, my y value is 17 and my x value is 2. And I'm just substituting in to the standard form equation. Plus b times 2 plus c. And for my third equation, I have a y value of 11 equal to a times negative 4 squared plus b times negative 4 plus c. And what we need to do is simplify each of these 3 equations so that they look cleaner and we can work with them. Okay? So we write 6 equals, and then a times 1 squared is just a, b times 1 is just plus b, and then plus c. The next thing we have to do is 17 equals a times 2 squared plus b times 2 plus c. So 17 is equal to 4 times a plus 2b plus c. And then for my third equation, I have 11 equals 16 times a minus 4 times b plus c. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to solve 6 equals A plus B plus C for the value A and substitute A into both remaining equations. Okay? So the first part of that, 1A, was to solve 6 equals A plus B plus C for A. Okay, so to do that, we will subtract A from both sides, and we'll have negative A plus 6 equals B plus C. And then I will subtract 6 from both sides and have negative A equals B plus C minus 6. And then I will multiply the entire equation by negative 1. So I get A equals negative B minus C plus 6. Okay, so this is now part 2, or part 1B. Okay, I will now substitute A equals negative B minus C plus 6 into both remaining equations. Okay, so we'll take this as step 1B, part 1, where I will substitute A equals negative B minus C plus 6 into the first of my 2 remaining equations, which was 17 equals 4A plus 2B plus C. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So everywhere I see an A value, I will substitute in this expression. So let's write down 17 equals 4, open parentheses, negative B minus C plus 6, close parentheses, plus 2B plus C. So distributing the 4 gives us negative 4B minus 4C plus 24 plus 2B plus C. And now I will combine like terms. I have a negative 4B and a positive 2B. I also have a negative 4C and a positive C. And finally, I have a 17 and a positive 24 on opposite sides of the equal sign. So I'm actually going to start with the constant by subtracting 24 from both sides. 24 minus 17 is 7. So 17 minus 24 is negative 7 equals. And now we'll do the green. Minus 4b plus 2b is negative 2b. Negative 4c plus c is negative 3c. So that is my expression after I substitute in the a value. So now we will go on to part 1b II, which is substitute a equals negative b minus c plus 6 into my second remaining equation, which is 11 equals 6a minus 4b plus c. Or 11 equals 16a minus 4b plus c. 11 equals 16a minus 4b plus c. Let's go double check that. Okay. Good. So what I will do is write 11 equals 16, open parentheses. And just like before, I'm going to put this everywhere I see an A. So in here, I'll write negative b minus c plus 6, close parentheses, minus 4b plus c. And now we'll distribute. So we have 11 equals negative 16b minus 16c plus 96 minus 4b plus c. We will now combine like terms. So I have here negative 16b and negative 4b. I also have negative 16c and positive c. And finally, I have positive 96 on the right side and positive 11 on the left side. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 96 from both sides. So 11 minus 96 is equal to negative 85. And negative 85 is set equal to negative 16b minus 4b. If I combine the b terms, I get negative 20b. And if I combine negative 16c and positive 1c, I get negative 15c. And what I can do to simplify this expression is divide everything, each term, by 5. Okay? Because all of these terms end in a 0 or a 5. So I can make my terms simpler. So 5 goes into 8 one time with 3 as a remainder. 5 goes into 35 7 times with no remainder. So negative 17 equals negative 20 divided by 5 is negative 4b. Negative 15 divided by 5 is negative 3c. Okay? So these are my two equations that I will be using for the next step. Okay. So my next step, which is step 2, is solve, and then we'll solve -7 equals -2b minus 3c for b, and substitute b into -17 equals -4b minus 3c, and solve for c. Okay, so the first part of that, 2a, is to solve -7 equals -2b minus 3c for b. So I'll add 2b to both sides, and I'll have 2b minus 7 equals -3c. And then I will add 7 to both sides and get 2b equals -3c plus 7. And then I will divide everything by 2. And I will get b equals -3 over 2c plus 7 over 2. And now, part 2b, I will substitute b equals -3 over 2c plus 7 over 2 into -17 equals -4b minus 3c. What that means is that I am going to stick this expression in here for b. Okay? So -17 equals -4, open parentheses, -3 over 2c plus 7 over 2, close parentheses, minus 3c. -17 equals 12 over 2c minus 28 over 2 minus 3c. -17 equals 6c minus 7 minus 3c. I will now add 7 to both sides. Whoops. -28 divided by 2 is 14. So I will now add 14 to both sides. -17 plus 14 is -3. And that equals 6c minus 3c. So -3 equals 3c. Dividing each term by 3, I get -1 equals c. Now, this is important because I now know that C is equal to -1. This is very important because now that I know what C is, I can find what B or A is. And then once I know what two of the variables are, I can find the other one. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to take one of my equations where I have solved for two of the variables, and I know I have C. So I will just pick one of these two highlighted in yellow and substitute in -1 for C and solve for B. So this is step 3. Substitute C equals -1 into, and then we have to get that equation. -7 equals -2b minus 3c. Okay, let's just make sure that we got it written down correctly. Okay, -7 equals -2b minus 3c. Good. So we got it written down correctly. So I'm going to substitute in C equals -1 into -7 equals -2b minus 3c and solve for b. So -7 equals -2b minus 3, open parentheses, -1, close parentheses. So -7 equals -2b plus 3. Let's now add 2b to both sides, and we get 2b minus 7 equals 3. Now I will add 7 to both sides and get 2b equals 10. And then I will divide both sides by 2 and get b equals 5. And now I can substitute b equals 5 and c equals -1 back into my original equation. 6 equals a plus b plus c. Okay, this is step 4. Substitute b equals 5 and c equals -1 into 6 equals a plus b plus c and solve for a. So 6 equals a plus, open parentheses, 5, close parentheses, plus, open parentheses, -1, close parentheses. So 6 equals a plus 5 minus 1. So 6 equals a plus 4. Subtracting a from both sides, I get -a plus 6 equals 4. Minus 6 on both sides gives me negative a equals negative 2. Multiplying the equation by negative 1 gives me a equal to 2. So I now know that using a equals 2, b equals 5, and c equals negative 1, write a quadratic equation in standard form. Okay? Remember that y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So y equals 2x squared plus 5x minus 1. Now, this is the answer. This is what we wanted to do. So we will put it in a red box. And this is the red box of correctness. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial, and I hope that you found it useful. Here is the totality of the work that was done. Scroll down, starting from the top. And then the global view, where you can see the whole thing in one frame. There it is. Okay. And that concludes. Let me grab the quadratic. Y equals 2x squared plus 5x minus 1. Y equals 2x squared plus 5x minus 1. And we'll put that right here. And that is the answer to the problem. Total solution time was 29 minutes and 5 seconds. We will now check our answer on Desmos. 2x squared plus 5x minus 1. And we see down here in our parameters that it would be 2, 5, and negative 1. And we'll also show the solution on the TI 84 Plus graphing calculator emulator. This is how you would check your work. First, we'll clear the memory. second plus 7, 1, 2. And then we will hit Stat, Edit, and we're going to put in our coordinates. In X or L1, we'll put 1, 2, -4. 1, 2, -4. In Y or L2, we'll put 6, 17, and 11. And then we will hit Stat, Calc, and we're going to go down to option 5 for Quad Reg or Quadratic Regression. Hit Enter, 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 and Enter. And here you go. Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is 2, b is 5, and c is -1. Going back to our problem to check, we have y equals 2x squared plus 5x minus 1. And so we have successfully checked to make sure this problem is right using both Desmos and TI. So we will end the video here and welcome you back to a future tutorial video. Thank you.